I'm Ramsey, the loud one.
I'm Jesse, the short one.
Put us both into one, we are.
Lots of noise, always too fast, lots of laughs. Here's our podcast, the loud and short of it. Hi, and welcome to the loud and short of it.
I'm Ramsey, the loud one.
And I'm Jesse, the short one.
This week we have our monthly movie review, and we're doing Black Widow.
Yes, we are. We are also doing Space Jam that will come out at the same time. Link.
Right there.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, you want to dive right in?
Yeah, are you giving us the numbers
Yeah,
this week?
I'll do the nerd garbage this week.
Okay.
Black Widow, an 81% from critics.
That's low for a Marvel movie.
I was surprised at that.
Yeah.
92% from audience. That sounds more likely. What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give this an 85.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going above the critics. I don't want to be a critic.
I
No one
can't
likes a
even remember
critic.
your other Marvel movies takes, so I don't really care about
It's
this.
been too long, man.
Yeah.
It's been too long. Would have been stuck with a bunch of TV shows that I'm not gonna watch.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 95%.
Ooh, just had to one up me there.
Fucking love this movie.
Mhm.
Oh, just so giddy about it.
God damn. Now, how much of that 95 is because you were like, this is a great movie, and how much of it was because you're a Marvel nerd and you were like, give me anything, please, please, please.
Well, see, I was already fucking spoon-fed like 50 hours of like mediocre content over 6 months. So I was just like, I honestly, it was like Black Widow's a movie coming out. I was like, oh, okay, cool. She's gonna beat guys up, and I'm gonna be happy. At the end
Did
of
you
it.
see Black Widow in theaters?
Yeah.
See, I watched at home, so I would have given it a 95 in theaters. Marvel is meant to be experienced in a theater. It's too big. It's too big and exciting to watch on a TV screen.
Yeah, dude, it was sick at the end. I got up and I was just clapping. I couldn't stop. Let's get into the money it made. Worldwide gross $343.6 million.
It's not bad.
Is more than the other two movies last week, I'm pretty sure.
We talked about literally last week, Variety Hour linked to it, that this one bombed. Everyone was saying Black Widow bombed.
Yeah, I mean,
not
comparatively to other like Marvel movies, yeah, but compared to other movies that came out, not really.
Yeah.
Opening weekend, $80.4 million domestic. That's higher than both the movies last week.
Yeah.
Or last month. And a budget of $200 million.
So it was profitable.
Yeah.
Already. Boom.
Now, a good segue into this, into the fun facts. First fun fact, Scarlett Johansson is currently suing Disney because in her contract it stated that it would get an exclusive theater release.
Yep.
But it got released concurrently onto Disney Plus. And I think this is both sad and hilarious because Black Widow's never coming back. ScarJo's done. This is not going to happen again.
It's perfect because she doesn't even have to think about it for suing them.
Yeah,
she doesn't
not
have
at
to be
all.
like, oh, maybe I shouldn't so that I can get my next movie. She's fucking out of there.
Yeah,
Who gives a shit?
I'm pretty sure she's going to just win that fucking... she's going to
I don't
settle with Disney.
I don't want to spend too much time on it, but basically... Disney negated on what they needed to do for the contract, and then ScarJo's lawyers reached out 3 times, and they were like, hey, we need to renegotiate, and nothing. So they were like, oh, yeah, ScarJo sued Disney.
It's so odd. Like, it does not matter how big the company is. They're all fucking morons.
Yeah, anybody saying that ScarJo shouldn't be suing because she made enough, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, ScarJo is incredibly rich and has a lot of money, and Disney... has so much more that it doesn't, like, she looks like an ant.
Look, fuck her because she's rich, but, like, I like her more than I like the mouse. The second fun fact, in the after credits scene of this movie, a character shows up, played by Elaine from Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
I'm going to call her Elaine.
Yeah, me too. That's what I've been calling her. She also shows up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but funny thing, this was supposed to be her debut.
Yeah,
it was COVID. Yeah, and then COVID happened, and then, this movie got delayed like a year and a fucking half.
Yeah.
Real
as is
bummer.
tradition.
Yeah. Third fun fact, this is the first, like, genuinely good thing Marvel's done since Endgame. So, that's good. You want to get into our takes?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll start with what you just said, if I can get the first take.
Yeah, go
This
for it.
is the first movie that's come out where I was like, I'm kind of glad they didn't hard reset. Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast before, and it's my opinion that after Endgame, they should have been like, we did it. 10 years of perfect movies. Let's restart. We can do it again. And everyone would have hopped on board. I would have been there. But instead, they were like, nah, we're going to do a Spider-Man thing, and then we're going to somehow start this over again after Thanos. Seems impossible.
Yeah.
And this one's not really fair because it's taking place before Thanos is defeated.
Yeah,
so it's
this
still
takes place
like,
right after
how are
Civil
you
War.
gonna? I don't know where it's headed, but it's
I
got
think
potential. I'll put it that way.
After watching Loki, I can see where everything's happening. It's okay. Like I'm like, okay, this is gonna be cool. I am excited again for Marvel stuff. I think this movie is what really fucking set me up though, because I remember like watching this movie and just being like, oh fuck, like I forgot how good these characters are whenever you like get them for like 2 hours and you just you give them set pieces and like things to do, because like I can't really call it any. The only flaw in this movie is that Hawkeye's not in it. If Hawkeye was in this movie, I'd be on cloud 9.
Ramsey's rules for any non-Marvel movie is that it didn't have enough guns, and for every Marvel movie, it's that it didn't have enough Hawkeye.
Yeah, boring.
I got one beef that I want to bring up. It's really my only negative.
Yeah.
So while we're on that topic, the villain in this is just the stupidest character ever.
Really?
After Marvel's done some great villains, Thanos fucking amazing. There's a whole subreddit about how he's not bad.
Yeah.
You kind of agree. He's a good villain. You get where he's coming from. Backstory and everything. And then you have Killmonger from Black Panther, fucking great villain. Everything makes sense there. This villain is like, my goal is to control the world through women. And then he's like, and I've been doing it for 5 years. And he's like, and my goals are to control the world with women. But what does he fucking want? What's his why?
Well, he's been doing since the Cold War. He wants to always have, because it probably makes him a fuckload of money, and he has a fuckload of power.
In a super floaty building in space.
Are you mad because the villain's not doing normal things with money and power?
No, I'm mad. I'm mad because I wanted, if you're gonna be a superhero, there should be some culmination of that. This guy comes across as what's the evil guy in fucking Austin Powers?
Dr. Evil?
Yeah, this guy comes out as like Dr. Evil, being like, give me $1 million. The dude's like, yeah, I got an army of super women spies, and my goal is, at one point he literally says, he's like, I can begin and end all war. And you're like, okay, so what's your end game? Like, are you gonna be like, and so what's changed? What is he doing?
That's a good point. I think I didn't give a fuck because the entire time I was sitting there, I was like, all right, well, what's the Red Room? Like, what happened? Like, what did she go through? And I was kind of just like, seeing him be like this obviously evil dude, I was like, well, yeah, I guess there's not really like a way to humanize a man giving hysterectomies to like 12-year-olds.
Yeah, I didn't, but I could have been a terrible thing. Like if he had just been like, I want to destroy the world because it has wronged me, but instead the whole thing is just like he wants. I just didn't fuck with it. I didn't care. It was dumb.
Yeah, I get that. I think that him.
And they didn't give the widows any backstory either. They're just like faceless bodies that get in fights sometimes. And they didn't even show up that often.
Yeah, I mean,
like it just from the villain perspective of this movie, I was like, I just don't care about them at all.
See, that did not bother me because I feel like whenever Natasha like takes care of business towards the end or whatever, it's so perfect every time. Whenever they free the widows with like the weird gas or whatever, but also whenever she's in the room with that dude and she just breaks her own fucking nose or whatever, I was like, oh my god. That shit was so fucking dope and hype. I didn't give a shit
all
about
four
that guy.
heroes in this movie, fucking amazing. The way that they interact with each other, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Loved all of it. Just the villains were dumb. I just didn't care.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't. To me, this was like watching like a G.I. Joe movie if it was good. And so I was like, yeah, guys, he's just a bad guy. I don't fucking care. Taskmaster shows up. Everyone's pissed about Taskmaster, but Taskmaster's fucking stupid. It's just he has dope powers. You know, he can like, he or she or whatever.
Yeah.
Can replicate the powers like the Avengers and stuff, and I'm just like, that's fine, it's cool. But
yeah, she was boring too.
Yeah, I thought she was cool to watch fight, and it was a good twist at the end.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't know. The villains just, to me, I just didn't give a fuck because I feel like all the other, that's where 5% of mine comes off. Then fuck it.
If this had been a DC movie or an early Marvel movie, like the first villain that Iron Man fights, I believe, is just like, I'm also rich and I would
Ironmonger?
like to. Yeah. It's just stupid. But like I just feel like Marvel, like Mysterio. He was very cool villain. I liked everything that he did, and I was like, oh, okay, I get why he's doing the things he's doing.
Yeah.
Like Marvel's just maybe it's not a negative to this movie, it's a benefit to all the other movies. It's like you've set yourself up too high standards.
Yeah.
The villains need to have something for me to give a fuck about.
Yeah, I think they might have fucked up even just bringing in Taskmaster. I guess, I don't know. I feel like all the things that are happening around the villains are so good for me that I don't really care about, like, the aspect of, like, why is this villain evil? I just kind of moved past it there. Because I will say, like, the interactions with Yelena and Natasha are like, bro, I usually don't care that much about cutesy Marvel shit. The entire time, I was fucking bummed out because I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing. I was like, we're never going to see it again. Like, this is over. And
the little family dinner that they had was fucking perfection.
Yeah.
The dad putting the suit back on. It's been so long since we've had a Marvel movie, and even then it was Endgame, which felt different than a normal Marvel movie and was so long. This one was like, it had like that Marvel comedy that somehow like isn't funny, but it's still like it like warms your little heart, and you're like, oh, thank you.
I will say on like the family dynamic, I had a jarring moment watching this movie in theater. So Rachel Weisz, who plays the mother, was my first on-screen crush. Like I was like the Mummy 1999, bro, like fucking in love with her, still in love with her to this day. But seeing her talk to Yelena and go, Yelena, it's me, it's Mama, to Florence Pugh, who's my current Hollywood crush, bro, that shit fucked me up. I was fucking horny and scared, bro. I was horny in new and frightening ways, dog. That shit
is multi-generational horny.
I was just like, after that happened, I like readjusted my seat, and I was like, what the fuck's happening?
He tucked it in the waistband. It's the whole thing.
It wasn't even like the variety would get hard.
Looked at the waiter weird.
It wasn't even like I was like immediately horny. It was like an ethereal, like shroom high horny. Where I was like, time is a flat circle, bro. Like I was on some like nth dimension shit, bro.
You were so horny it made you question life.
Yeah, bro. I was like, shit, what is being horny anymore?
So I'm not that horny for either of those two actresses, but you know what I was horny for in this movie? The fucking action.
Yeah,
my
so good.
God, I was watching this. I'll leave the idea of why it was like this. I couldn't watch this in 4K, and I watched it at home without spending any money. So
oh yeah,
I was watching like 720p.
You old scallywag.
Yeah, but the action, I didn't want to give money because then ScarJo wasn't going to get paid. It was a moral choice, obviously.
Yeah.
But at one point, she jumps out of the little plane thing.
Yeah.
And she's falling, and Taskmaster is fighting her. And she jumps onto a piece of shrapnel that is also falling and slides across it and then punches Taskmaster in the face. And I jumped out of my chair in my own living room. It was like, yeah! Do it again!
Bro, I remember like watching towards the end of this movie, I was like, fuck, when does it end? Because cool shit just kept happening. Like whenever she just like 1v20s the Black Widows in the fucking like Red Room or whatever, I was just like, oh man, this sucks, the movie's ending. And then they just keep fighting more people. And then she jumps off the helicarrier and I was like, fuck. Like this just keeps getting better.
And even like the final 30 minutes is just nonstop action, the best shit ever. And then towards like the 30% through the movie mark, there is a chase scene. And when it first started, I was like, damn, this chase scene's cooler than the entire new Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's like it had a tank driving through a city that just mowed cars. There were no rules.
Yeah.
She's on, at one point, they're driving a BMW. They ditch that. They get on motorcycles. And there's a motorcycle chase scene. And it was like, this is the best fucking chase scene ever. Yeah. There's no silly magnets. They're just having a fucking blast. Dude, they blow up a car.
Yeah, whenever they're going like to the prison to break out fucking David Harbour or whatever, that entire thing in my head from watching the trailer was like, yeah, that's probably the end of the movie. And I was watching that and I was like, every set piece in this movie they could have ended on. And I was just so fucking happy with all of them. And it sucks is like it reminded me of like Captain America, Winter Soldier, and like Civil War, my favorite Marvel movies because Captain America obviously, but like I fucking pray that the new Captain America movie and shit like that, I pray it's like a tenth of how fucking cool this shit is. Because my
insanity.
God, dude, my mind the entire time too, I was kind of pissed. I was like, man, imagine if we got this shit like 5 years ago. Everyone in the world would be like, I want 4 more Black Widow movies.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
Yeah.
Pay ScarJo her fucking money.
Yeah, she's never coming back. It's over. I'm okay with the new Black Widow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm fucking in love with her, but
Seems very cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so basically, I'm just going to change my 85. I'm hopping it to a 95. I was just being a bitch because I had to watch it in 720p. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, actually, I will say, this is the first fucking movie I went to go see where I was happy again. Because every fucking movie, the last movie I saw that I like really liked theirs was Judas and the Black Messiah, but like, that's not like a movie you're like hyped. You're like, oh yeah, I just saw an excellent movie. You're like, oh my God, the world has a lot of problems. But this movie, like, I walked in, I was like, all right, I just want a good movie, like a good action movie, good Marvel movie, please. And I walked out and I was like, that was a fucking banger.
Yeah.
I felt like the movie, this movie made me feel like movie theaters did, like, it made me like sad that the idea of them going away could ever happen.
Yeah. That's Marvel's place.
Yeah.
You guys shouldn't have done the TV shows. They just don't.
No.
They don't inspire you the way.
Yeah, except Loki.
movies
Loki's
do.
gassed. Loki's the only one I'll defend.
Okay, we can't get into that this week though.
Yeah,
so I
no
think that's
time.
what we're cutting it on Black Widow.
Yeah, go watch
Go
Black
watch
Widow.
it.